Greetings, exiles. And here's a new journey. This time with cool gloves that were buffed in this league. A gladiator with a new shield for uber defense. A broken mercenary with rallying cry and a big stick for giga damage. And of course, one of the most fun skills in the game, Cyclone. But all that will come later, because as always, I'm starting from scratch. The most tedious part of this journey, the campaign. With Sunder. A boring skill, but quite effective. First lab. I've always disliked the labyrinth, but after the developers changed it and added transfigured skill gems, it's not so lame because I know that a small jackpot may be waiting for me at the end. Just what I need. Not this time. I love the labyrinth. Free money. Finally, now I can play the game. As you can see, I already have a small starting capital, but I don't want to turn this video into a one divine orb challenge. So I'll just buy this unique shield that I'll need in the final version of the build, and that's it for my starting purchases. Before I move on to the maps, 2 important notes. I don't have a third account, so I'll just remove all skill points from the Atlas tree and remove all my void stones. To simulate a fresh start. Slightly scuffed, but it is what it is. Next, I plan to use Sunder until I find a mercenary with a rallying cry and a two-handed weapon. After that, I'll immediately go shopping and swap to my main build. But enough yapping. Let's go to the maps. While you enjoy the gameplay, I would like to talk a bit about this unique shield. In combination with our ascendancy, it gives us ultimate defense because our chance to block an attack or spell will be 97%, which is even better than Svalin. And if you've ever played with this unique shield, you know how powerful it is. That's why it's not cheap, but in this build, our ultimate defense is available to us almost from the very beginning, and that's very strong. And here is the mercenary I was looking for. It is very important that he has not only a rallying cry but also a two-handed weapon because there is a second type of mercenary in the game with dual wielding. But we don't need him. Unexpected. More good stuff. Nice. Now we can swap to my main build. I'll start with the mercenary because that's the base. Blight gloves so we can use an additional anointment. Amulet for life recovery. And of course anointment. Rare helmet. This is the main stat we need. The rest is a bonus. A big stick for our mercenary. The higher these numbers, the better. Random rare boots. The main thing we need is this Eldritch Implicit. Random rare body armor. Again, we are only interested in this implicit. Life and resistances are a bonus. By the way, if you want to learn more about mercenaries and rallying cry, be sure to check out this channel. The author of this channel was the first to come up with this combination. Well, my mercenary is ready for battle. Now it's my time. Runegrafts. Cool body armor. 5 links. And the right colors. Facebreaker. Death Rush. For damage, speed, and life recovery. Amulet with dexterity and intelligence. Physical damage to attack and some life. Also, a free prefix will be very useful. Boots with a lot of life and resistances. And of course benchcraft. Helmet. And a large cluster. And the last purchase is jewels. Well, let's try our new build. Not bad for a beginning. Also, a very important note. If you want to try this build, do so only after you find the right mercenary, because he is a key part of this build. Mercenaries are a very powerful game mechanic that can solve many problems. A mercenary gives a lot of damage, provides defense, additional auras, can find you a girlfriend, cure all diseases, save your marriage, and even fix Path of Exile too. Okay, I was wrong about the last point. Mercenaries are certainly good, but they are not omnipotent. I don't know about you, but for me, what matters in a build is how it feels, not how broken it is or how many billions of DPS it has. And Cyclone is one of those skills for me. To be honest, I haven't used it in a long time, but as soon as I started spinning, I immediately remembered that feeling. The feeling of fun. Frankly, I don't know why I like this skill, but there's something mesmerizing about it. You just press a button, turn off your brain, and destroy monsters. Anyway, let's talk about currency earning strategies now because I need divine orbs for cool new stuff. This time, I decided not to rush the Atlas. Instead, I focused on earning currency first. So my starting Atlas looked like this. Essences, because it's an easy and stable income. And June for lucky drops. So we buy scarabs and go to work. I love the Syndicate. This is what my stash looks like now. Not bad. The last lab. I see money. And I think we're ready to battle the bosses to get our first Void Stones. And that's when I ran into my first problem because our damage to bosses is very modest. It's immediately noticeable that we need more serious equipment. Also, my setup is more defensive, and I think I overdid it because we have little damage and a lot of defense. So it's time for upgrades. New weapons for our mercenary. Let's try to make something solid. Not bad. Much better than the old weapon. Light of meaning for more damage. Six links. Easy. Now I can add Impale support because Impale is very important for physical damage DPS. Also, I need this Anoint. And a quick test run. That's better. It was a good shopping trip, but it's time to get back to the maps. And my new Atlas. Quite strange at first glance. But first, I want to continue farming the Syndicate because I like this mechanic. And second, I need to find a high-level mercenary, and for that I need a strategy where I can complete maps very quickly. Because the more maps, the more chances to find the right mercenary. In this strategy, I use these scarabs. Titanic Scarab of Treasures goes well with the Syndicate because they are unique enemies and allow us to get extra loot without spending a lot of time. Also, an essential part of this strategy is the Glacier map because there are many unique enemies at the end, and each of them will give us extra loot. I'll say right away that this is not the most profitable strategy, but you will definitely earn something. And of course, the main goal is to get a big catch in the Syndicate and find the ideal mercenary. These medallions are quite expensive. This is also a good opportunity to answer a question from one of my viewers. It's very simple, my friend. You did 50 safe houses and got 0 medallions. I did 20 safe houses and got 5 medallions. This means that for 70 safe houses, we have 5 medallions, which is pretty average overall. But since it's random, there are some nuances. which you already know about. So just be lucky. Finally, this is exactly the guy I was looking for. And he has a Pride aura, just what I need. However, he uses Flicker Strike. But none of us are perfect, and we all have our bad habits. Since my mercenary has Pride aura, I can replace mine with Purity of Elements for immune to all elemental ailments and resistances. With this aura, I will be able to replace some of my equipment with other gear that will deal damage instead of providing defense. But that will be later. For now, let's take the last Void Stones. Now the damage is much better. At the same time, our defense is still very good. And if you look at the numbers in POB, our maximum hit is quite low, but effective HP is very high. And of course, spell and attack block chance are very high, making us practically invulnerable. The only thing that can kill us is damage over time. But overall, the build feels very good. Well, I have completed my Atlas. But this is only the beginning. There are many more interesting upgrades and strategies ahead. But all that will be in the second part. Thank you all for watching and commenting. I appreciate it. Also, I would be very grateful for your likes and subscription. Bye everyone, and see you in the new video.